All right, let's talk about your brain. No, really. Inside your head right now, there are basically two characters calling the shots. That's the core idea of Daniel Kahneman's incredible book, Thinking Fast and Slow. And to prove it, I'm going to start you off with a little puzzle. It's a classic, and it's designed to show these two characters in action. Okay, here it is. A bat and a ball cost $1.10 total. Now, the bat costs exactly $1 more than the ball. So, how much does the ball cost? Don't overthink it. Just say the first number that pops into your head. You got it? Good.
So, did you say 10 cents? If you did, don't feel bad. You are in very good company. More than half the students at places like Harvard, MIT, and Princeton, yeah, they all gave that same quick, intuitive, and totally wrong answer. The right answer is actually 5 cents. Think about it. A 5-cent ball and a $1.05 bat, that's a dollar difference. And that little trick your brain just played on you, that's the entire point of this book.
So, let's meet the two characters in your head. These are the two systems that are constantly running your mind. Kahneman frames this as a kind of drama playing out in our brains, with two main characters he calls, simply enough, System 1 and System 2. And here's the tale of the tape. On one side, you've got System 1. Think of it as the impulsive, automatic hero of our story. It's fast, intuitive, and runs on emotion. It's the gut feeling, the instant reaction. It's happening all the time, completely unconsciously. Then you have System 2. This is the slow, deliberate, logical thinker. It's the part of you that you think is you, your conscious mind. But here's the catch. It's incredibly lazy. Okay, let's dive deeper into System 1, the automatic hero. This system is basically the showrunner of your brain. It's always on, constantly making instant judgments and impressions. It's what lets you know someone's angry just from their tone of voice, or lets you complete the phrase bread and butter. It's doing all this in the background without you even noticing. Okay, just look at these two words on the screen. Bananas. Vomit. Instantly, right? A whole cascade of things just happened in your brain. You probably pictured yellow, then something pretty disgusting. You might have felt a little twinge of revulsion. That happened automatically. You couldn't stop it. That, right there, is your System 1 in action. It's a powerful machine that connects ideas whether you want it to or not. And what you just experienced is a textbook example of something called priming. Just seeing one idea, in this case, vomit, made you ready or primed you to think about related unpleasant things. It influenced your thoughts and even your physical reaction. And here's the key part. You had no say in the matter. It all happened behind the scenes.
Now, another thing about System 1 is that it loves comfort. It loves things to be easy. Kahneman calls this cognitive ease. Basically, if information is simple, clear, or something we've heard before, our brain just relaxes. It feels good. It feels true. And that's the dangerous part. Just because something is easy to process doesn't mean it's right. It's why repeating a lie over and over can make it start to sound like the truth.
All right, time to turn our attention to the other guy in your head, System 2, the lazy controller. Now, this is the one you probably think of as you. It's your conscious, deliberate mind. If I asked you to calculate 17 times 24, this is the system that would have to wake up and do the work. It's powerful for sure, but its main characteristic, it would really rather not. And Kahneman just nails it with this quote. He says, "Many people are overconfident, prone to place too much faith in their intuitions. They apparently find cognitive effort at least mildly unpleasant and avoid it as much as possible." I mean, that's it in a nutshell, right? Thinking hard is, well, it's hard work. So most of the time, we just go with whatever easy answer System 1 serves up, which is exactly why so many of us say 10 cents for that bat and ball problem. So if System 2 is so lazy, how do you get it to wake up and do its job? Well, here's a really weird and fascinating finding. You have to make things harder. It's called cognitive strain. Get this. Researchers found that when they gave people a problem written in a blurry, hard-to-read font, they were actually more likely to get it right. Why? Because that little bit of strain acted like an alarm clock for System 2, forcing it to pay attention and not just accept System 1's first guess. Okay, so now we get to the heart of the matter, how your brain tricks you. See, System 1 is all about speed and efficiency. To do that, it relies on mental shortcuts, or what scientists call heuristics. And most of the time, these work great, but the trade-off is that these shortcuts can also lead to predictable, repeatable mistakes. And these systematic errors have a name: cognitive biases. All right, let's try another one. I want you to give me your gut reaction to this question. In the US, what's a more likely cause of death? Is it a stroke or is it all accidents combined? Car crashes, falls, everything. What does your gut tell you?
So, the common guess, something like 80% of people say this, is accidents. It just feels more likely, right? But the reality, well, it's not even close. Strokes cause almost twice as many deaths as all accidents put together. Whoa. So, why on earth is our intuition so incredibly wrong about this?
The culprit here is something called the availability heuristic. It's a simple but powerful mental shortcut. Our brain doesn't check the stats. Instead, it just asks, how easily can I think of an example? And because things like plane crashes and car accidents are so dramatic and all over the news, examples pop into our heads instantly. Strokes? Not so much. So we assume accidents are more common. It's all about how easily it comes to mind. Kahneman has this fantastic acronym for this phenomenon, YSIIT. It stands for What You See Is All There Is. Your system one is a storyteller, but it's a terrible reporter. It takes the limited information that's easily available, the flashy news reports, and constructs a confident story around it. It doesn't stop to ask, hey, what information am I missing? It just assumes that what it sees is the whole picture, and that's a recipe for error. And WSI is the engine behind so many other biases. For instance, loss aversion. Losing 20 bucks hurts way more than finding 20 bucks feels good. Or anchoring. Hear a high price for a car first, and every other price seems low in comparison. There's hindsight bias, I knew it all along, and the halo effect, where we think because someone is good looking, they must also be smart and kind. Our brains are just riddled with these things. Okay, so this might all sound a bit depressing, like we're just puppets of our biased brains. But it's not all bad news. The whole point of knowing this stuff is so we can do something about it. We can actually learn how to make smarter choices by knowing when to slow down and wake up that lazy system too. Here's a great example, making a forecast. Let's say you're planning a kitchen remodel. Your natural tendency is to take the inside view. You think about your specific plans, your contractor, your skills. You'll probably be wildly optimistic about the timeline and budget. The outside view is to stop and ask, how long do kitchen remodels like this usually take? You look at the statistics of similar projects. It feels less personal, but guess what? It's almost always way more accurate. And check this out. Here is an amazing practical tip you can literally use in your next meeting. To avoid groupthink, use this technique to decorrelate error. Before anyone discusses a topic, have every single person silently write down their own brief opinion. Then you go around the room. What does this do? It stops the entire group from getting anchored to whatever the first or loudest person says. You get everyone's real, independent thoughts on the table. It's simple and it is a game changer. All right, for the last big idea, Kahneman goes really deep. He argues that we aren't just one self. We're two. First, there's the experiencing self. This is the you that lives in the present moment. It's the one feeling the pain of a headache or the joy of a good meal. Then there's the remembering self. This is the storyteller. It's the part of you that looks back on your life, keeps score, and, most importantly, it's the one that makes all the decisions about your future. But here is the absolute kicker. The remembering self, the one calling all the shots, is a terrible judge of your actual experience. It doesn't care how long something lasted. This is called duration neglect. It only really remembers two things: the most intense moment, the peak, and how it ended, the peak end roll. This means a 2-week vacation that was pretty good, but ended with a missed flight will be remembered as a bad vacation. It's crazy.
So listen to this from Kahneman. The remembering self is a storyteller. What we learn from the past is to maximize the qualities of our future memories, not necessarily of our future experience. Let that sink in. We are making decisions not for our present happiness, but to provide a good story for our future self to remember. We are basically living our lives for a biased storyteller in our own heads.
So, in the end, your brain is just a story-making machine. It creates a narrative to make sense of the world, using whatever scraps of information are lying around. But here's the thing. You now know that the storyteller is impulsive, biased, and way too confident. So the real question, the one you have to take with you is, what are you going to do about it?